Hey, everybody. Good morning. Hope you are having a fabulous day already. My name is Shemaine, and I was just on Real America's Voice. If you go to American Sunrise, check that out. American Sunrise. I just did a live, what they call a hit, a live, I don't know, it was 5 or 8 minutes long segment. And I was going to be talking about self defense, and the topic kind of went to another direction, but it's all good. I can go with the flow. But so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that, about self-defense, and also check in with you and see how you're doing. And also, if you aren't aware of it, I have a podcast where I talk about things that I can't really talk about here. And you can check that out anywhere you get your podcasts, on Apple iTunes, or also there is another platform on Podbean. And why I say that is because, again, there's certain things that I can't say here or I'll get even more suppressed. So I talk about a lot of it on my audio only podcast. And I listen to podcasts, I listen to books on tape. Speaking of books on tape, next week, I'm going to be interviewing. I've already done the interview, but it's going to launch or post next Tuesday. I'm interviewing best-selling author Charles Martin, who is my new favorite author. And I've got one of his books right here, The Record Keeper. I read this Murphy Shepard series of 3 books in about a month. They're all page turners. I I love it. And so I reached out to him on Instagram. It's the funniest thing because I did a little cyber stalking. I'm like, who is this guy? I got to find out more about him. This author, Charles Martin. Wouldn't you know it? He's a bow hunter. And also, he shoots the same bow as I do. How cool is that? So check out my podcast, like and subscribe to it so you'll be the first to know when I go live. But I launch new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. So check that out. All right, guys. And again, I always love, this is a live video. I always love to see where in the world you are watching from. We've got people all over the world, but we're on YouTube right now, live on Facebook, and even on LinkedIn. Welcome, LinkedIn people. I'd love to have you join me here. Okay, so we all know that crime is on the rise right now, and every major city. I don't know who wants to have a free trip to New York City right now, and yeah, you could go to the subway too. Take a ride in the subway. I don't know anybody who's going to want to do that. There are open borders allowing convicted felons, gang members, and terrorists in our country. And with the rising cost of food and fuel, it makes sense that at some point, someone you know, or maybe even you, will be confronted by someone who is evil and has bad intentions, and they're going to threaten you or one of your loved ones. And it's so important, guys, that we have some basic self-defense awareness, and we have to be smart about this. Nowadays, when I go out, we've had death threats. I'm not going to say it's not fun. We've had them for as long as I've been married to Ted, for 33 years. Some are much worse than others, but I know what it's like. And even recently at one of Ted's shows, I was nearly accosted. And you have to have eyes in the back of your head. Nowadays, if you have small children, man, you almost have to lock arms with them. You've seen images on the street where people are grabbing children. You've seen the woman in California walking in an alley in the middle of the day with a stroller, and a car just came and rammed her and then kept on going. You've seen people in subways getting pushed into oncoming trains, and people just getting beaten senselessly for no reason at all. So what can you do? Be smart. Play this game offensively, not constantly defensively. And think about, is it a smart thing to go running by yourself at 4 o'clock in the morning? I would say no. Be aware of your surroundings. When we go into restaurants, I know that Ted's always going to want to have his back to the wall so he can see everybody coming in. That's just the way that it is. And I think that's smart. And when I'm by myself, I do that as well. When I'm, God gave us the sixth sense, and we can sense when people are approaching us from up to 6 feet. If you have that gut instinct that something is wrong, follow it and use your best judgment. But you could also take a basic firearms training course. Now, that's not for everybody, but if you're interested in it, you want to find out more about it, go to your local gun shop or hunting store and just start asking people. Or nowadays, you can find Facebook in your area. There are groups, I would imagine, all over the United States that they are happy to help train you, help answer your questions. And I know a lot of good places like the Alamo in Naples, Florida, that would be happy to do that. For me, a firearm is an equalizer. If I'm 5'4", about 108 pounds, give or take a couple pounds, mostly give. like, but how can I, there are certain self-defense moves that I can take and boxing classes, and you've got to continue to do that. But a firearm is an equalizer for, 200-300 pound guy coming after me. There's no way, little chance that I can defend myself for that brute force. So I encourage you, if it's something that you're interested in, check that out. Also, I'm gonna also encourage you to take CPR and first aid. Nowadays, we need to know those things. And you never know what's going on in this world. And a lot of indicators are pointing to, yeah, things are getting crazy pretty fast. And we need to take care of ourselves and our loved ones and be aware of that there are evil people in this world. For me, this is a spiritual warfare. This is a spiritual fight against good and evil. As the Bible says in Ephesians 6:10 through 18, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, meaning we're not fighting against each other. Honestly, consider the hurricane in Southwest Florida. People who are first responders, they didn't say, I'm not going to help you if you believe in this political candidate or that political candidate. Think about who we are as Americans. We should be constantly asking, how can we help one another? But let's be smart about it. As President Reagan said, trust but verify. All right, guys. And the most important thing is to have hope. A lot of people have lost jobs because they chose not to take something that wasn't in their political, religious, or health beliefs. And they may have lost their income. They may have lost their insurance. And we know with these rising costs of gas and fuel, inflation, and our open borders, all indicators point to, do you remember the TV show back in the 70s, Lost in Space? Warning, Will Robinson, warning. I feel like, hello, warning, Will Robinson. That's just me. All right, guys, I'm going to take a minute to say hi and check out your questions. I thank you so much. Hey, Scott McIntosh, how are you? Once again, if you joined me late, I wanted to have you check out my podcast because I talk about things that I can't talk about here. You can search for it. It's really quite a unique, uniquely titled podcast, The Shemaine Show. So check that out. And you can also get that at Podbean. I have a brand new website, ShemaineNugent.rocks. You can check that out and find out all about the superfood nutrition that Ted and I take on a daily basis. All right, guys, I'm going to check out your comments. It would be great if there wasn't all kinds of smudges on my glasses. Okay. Ooh, here's a good one. Charles, I teach situational awareness and how to survive an active shooter event. Everybody, if you're in that area, Charles Arch, Thank you, Charles, for saying that. We need more people to take classes like this. I want to take more. I haven't taken one in a couple of years. I did. I took hand-to-hand combat. And again, I taught boxing where those people who remember my Nugent Maneuvers days, I sparred with people. I held up the mitts, I sparred, and I taught about boxing. And again, I think this is so important. Um, Tina, good morning from cold, rainy Michigan. Hippie Soul. Thank you. I will check it out. Thanks for inspiring. You know what, Kelly? That's what I want to do. Every time before I come on here, I literally say a prayer. And I ask that God's voice, it's not my voice, but God's voice speaking through me, that I can inspire people, because there are a lot of difficult times right now. A lot of people are hurting, not just financially. I don't even mean about that, but emotionally and spiritually. And I want to encourage you, don't lose hope. Try to fit something in your schedule. I always end my chats here with find the thing that makes your heart sing and do it more often. And I really mean that, because when I'm teaching a fitness class like I did last night, for that hour, I can't be worried about what's going on, the current events in the world or certain politicians. I'm worried about Susie not bending her legs, or it's too hot or too cold, or the music isn't just right, or whatever it is, the choreography. Though, but what I'm doing in the process is I'm getting a great workout, and the feedback I get from people in my classes, the smiles. If I can help other people get a great workout, they're sweating and smiling at the same time. Yes, that's winning to me. So, okay, I love that. All right, lots of great comments coming in, guys. Wow, this is a long one. Okay. Michael said, I actually added Ted on the ballot during Obama election. That's funny. Yeah, there's a lot of great comments, a lot of things I can't say. Hey, Keith from Toledo, thank you so much for being here. All right, guys. Thank you, Tammy. Appreciate the kind words. Have a great day. I mean it. Have a great day. Make it a great day. Do something healthy for you today. There are always people who will find the negative or look at life as, the glass is half full or the glass is half empty. I've been talking to Dr. Simone Gold, and I'm going to have her on a podcast coming up soon. I've wanted to let her relax and recover. And she's one of these people, from the ordeal that she's been through, being imprisoned for being one of America's frontline doctors and speaking her truth. We've lost the First Amendment, and we got to get that back. It's not too late. But most importantly, I asked her, how are you? And she said, considering everything, she's the type of person that she wants to be positive and upbeat. And considering going through 45 days in prison, we've got to think about people who are worse off than we are, and think about how we can help other people, and choosing joy, choosing happiness, choosing to look at this world, look at the things that are going on in this world as a glass half full mentality, not glass half empty. Because there is something in your life right now, I promise you, that if you really thought about, even if you're going through a difficult time, having your eyesight, having your hearing, having a body that walks and moves, having energy, having health, so many things to be grateful for. So make a list. All right, guys, have a great day. I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for joining me today. Bye.